Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Into the Veil. This is Rachel King. I've got Ken with me. And today we thought we would spend a little time trying to find evidence of our wee people out here. We've caught various things, but we're kind of looking for more distinct signs. This caught my eye. So traditionally, it said they would use moss to dry off, or if it's wet, to clean themselves. But I thought it was interesting because this big piece is just peeled back, but there's nothing here that would peel it back falling from the tree, or so it's kind of curious. We thought we'd keep an eye out for spots like that.
So anyhow, if you've got that itch to get out in the woods and poke around, I highly recommend it. Get you a little fresh air and exercise, look around and see what you can discover. Might not be Bigfoot out there in the backyard, but there's a whole lot of other things that are really worth looking at.
Okay, so, looking here, this is all things we would naturally find in the woods, but I don't know that we would find them stacked up like this together. So that's something that kind of catches my eye. And over here on this side, looks like an indentation of a foot. I don't know if you can see that. This would be the toes and the heel. It's just tiny. So I don't know. I'm not really sure if it's evidence of where they would live, but I definitely think they're coming through here. So we'll keep on looking. Okay, so we're going to come down and around and go into the Fairy Hollow, or what we call the Fairy Hollow. Beautiful out, but it is so warm. A great thumbnail. Okay, so we have set up 2 different spicks with yogurt covered raisins, and below the one on the left we have some sunflower seeds and some nuts. The one on the right, there's a red leaf right by it. Guess we can't use the red R end, so it'll be the red leaf end. And I got a little tiny wind chime because with the way that they like music, especially higher tones, I thought it might draw them to this spot so that they can find it. If they travel through here normally, then maybe they'll find it on their own. But we shall see what happens with them. done with this spot. And when I heard "for you," I didn't know what that meant, and I still don't. But look, everywhere. And nowhere else. I'm looking everywhere. Thank you. Aren't they beautiful? I don't even know what those are. Are they?
It's right here in the center of this triangle. The root forms one side of the triangle where your hand is, and then you've got
Well, you know, this was right after that orb incident happened, and I had that dream when I stepped over here. You know, the whole goosebumps thing ensued. Did it again. But I'm wondering if it's not a way to provide protection to us, you know, if we're feeling susceptible.
Right here around this, and another spot exactly like it right there on the other side of the fallen tree.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Those are little flowers. I've never seen them like that before.
Right there, and that's the only spot that I'm seeing them. These two right here.
Coming through. There's a little tiny person foot. Oh.
Is that one of the young ones, or is that a little people? There's the toes pushed down into it.
Unless Mama's foot is here, I would say little people. Oh my God. Hey. This is gorgeous. Ooh. I think we have a his and hers. You should step over here and see if it gets you. That is just awesome. And I didn't disappear, so it's all good. Okay, so I have found a spot that I think we're gonna try for the wee people out here. I've communicated that my hope is that Sasquatch will leave this alone long enough for us to find evidence of or see if these are things they like. I've got sunflower seeds, some peanuts, and some yogurt covered raisins. So hopefully.
So all these little tangles and dens, some of them look like little huts back here. Like they're constructed around this vine work.
Yeah, it's they look teepee-ish in their own right. I feel like I could pull this open like it's a door. I don't know, something that might.
I'd leave it alone.
But it's perfect.
There's your crow.
Yeah, little crow.
Nevermore, nevermore.
So we'll see if they like that. There's so many different types of elementals. You know, I feel like the earth elementals probably would like the seeds, and you know, it's going to be your gnomes, your pixies, your thinking of all these different names. The air elementals are probably much less impressed with food. It's going to be your elves and certain fairies. Even a lot of the mythological creatures, I believe, you know, the veil at one time was much thinner, and I believe that these things probably were very visible and very active in what man perceived as reality. And then I feel like this big thick curtain just dropped down and we lost our ability to see, our ability to access those kingdoms, you know. And so I don't. Oh, okay.
Alright, so who's throwing sticks now?
Alright. Well, we were just up by what looked like a little house, so they might have thought we were doing something against them.
Alright.
So, long story short, there's a lot to cover on elementals. But what I do believe is that with the veil thinning, we have the opportunity to start experiencing and creating relationship with those kingdoms, those realms again. Don't discount unicorns, dragons, mer people. You know, they may not show themselves in that exact form if you're not ready to see that form, but they can present themselves. So if you see something odd.
Well, what was the name of that? They considered it a cryptid species for the longest time until they finally got one on camera in Asia, Southeast Asia somewhere. But it was a little unicorn type creature, some type of a deer. I can't remember
the name. I feel bad about that.
But it exists.
The jinn, I mean, they're not the same worldwide. I mean, they may have the same types of jobs, or they may all fall under elementals, but I believe that each area, like a fairy or a gnome in the United States, is probably not going to be just like one in Great Britain. And I think a lot of them might have traveled over, you know, with the original Europeans. So there may be some connectivity there.
The environmental differences create
Right.
subtle nuance differences in how they act or how they are perceived, or
And of course their experience with the people in those areas, whether they're respectful or not, whether they're, you know, just informed or not. I mean, there's so much that goes into our experience with these types of beings. I can't believe that one threw a stick.
he's laughing at you now.
Enjoy it. So we'll continue this investigation. I just wanted to update you a little bit on what we were doing, and I hope that you'll like, share, and subscribe, and come back and visit us again. Thank you.